Welcome to a Sunday edition of the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. Um, this is episode number 68. Yes, we are on a different date. Shit happens. Tomorrow, football. The rest of the week, Drake will be in Las Vegas covering UFC 266, which is going to be an amazing fight card. So follow him for the week for everything going on during International Fight Week and UFC 266. And then Contender Series as well. Drake will be at Contender Series for the first time. I'm pretty envious of him, actually. But today's lineup is pretty good. It's a good one. We have a couple of recaps, actually 3 recaps with Bellator 266, UFC Vegas 37, and then RIZIN 30, and then some news, some previews, and then of course the Phantom punch breakdown, and whatever else you want to talk about. As always, leave any comments in the comment section here on YouTube, and we will get to what you want to talk about. All right, Drake. What?
Oh, yeah.
Start with Bellator 266 recap.
That we will, Steve. My, oh my, so much MMA yesterday. And you guys, don't forget, as Chuck said, before he shows up even, hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. All the good stuff. Support the channel. Means a lot. I mean, you already do a great job. But for those of you that are new here, maybe, smash that like button and all the good stuff. But yes, Bellator 266. Smash it. Kicking things off for today. Just one fight last night, Steve, and I missed this one, but man, oh man, you got to tell me about it. I'm very curious. Sounded like a pretty darn good performance from Vitamin D.
Crazy, man. Yeah, so Deanna Bennett returned home to San Jose, ended up beating Alejandra Lara, as you can see on the bottom ticker there, a 30-27 and a couple 30-26s. So she got a 10-8 in there from one of the judges. Yeah, Deanna Bennett looked amazing, and Alejandra Lara looked like absolute crap. I don't know if something was wrong with her. I no idea. She looked out of it like it was not her. It was not her fight at all, and it was all Deanna Bennett, man. As you can see on the picture there on the screen, that was basically the fight. Once it got to the ground, Bennett was able to do her thing, which we expected, right? We expected that. But Deanna Bennett held her own on the feet against Alejandra Lara. Lara was coming in with kicks and all that, and, you know, she was doing some flashy stuff because that's who she is. She has this acrobatic background, and she's very limber, and she can kick and stuff, and she's quick, but it just wasn't landing, man. It just wasn't, none of it was really doing its job, and Deanna Bennett was able to win the fight. It was all Deanna Bennett, to be honest.
The Deanna Bennett show. I mean, this is what we kind of expected could happen, right? And that's what I said, that first round, if Lara didn't do her thing, which she's generally capable of doing, Deanna Bennett, she survives, can grind you out. Sounds like exactly what happened, Steve, except she did maybe better than we thought. You said the striking.
Better than we thought, man. She has obviously, she's 36, right?
Yeah.
She's obviously worked on her striking, and she actually said that in her post fight in cage interview. She's worked on her striking. She knows, you know, the ground game is her best, where she's best, but she's working on her striking, and it showed. It showed in this fight. So now Alejandra Lara was ranked number 5. She was ranked number 5, man, and
not anymore.
Yeah, no, you got to feel that Deanna Bennett's going to be ranked. I don't know if she's going to go number 5, but she's definitely going to be ranked.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So that'll be very funny to see if Loretta gets bounced out or not, because in theory, that's exactly what should happen, right? Is
She's not
because
going anywhere.
Bennett comes in. See ya.
Nah,
Shouldn't
I
be in
don't.
the first place, but
Yeah, I don't know Bellator rankings, but they won't bounce Loretta out. She has a fight coming up, doesn't she?
not that I know of. If she does, it is not
She keeps
public knowledge
saying that
yet.
she has. I guess she said that she had a fight. I don't remember seeing anything about a specific fight.
Yeah.
But she's saying that she has a fight.
Hmm.
We don't know about it though, and where it's at or anything.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is good for good. I'm happy for Deanna Bennett. You know, she's been around for a while and was at one time a very strong, undefeated prospect at strawweight, which is crazy to think about. You know, Steve's going back to the Invicta days. I was very high on her back then and just didn't quite put it together. And you know, maybe got some favorable decisions here and there. But yeah, this has just been these kind of fighters with strong grappling have been a problem for Lara. So she needs to fix that right up.
Yeah, well, I mean, even her striking, like I said, like she was throwing like kicks and stuff, and you know, she did a question mark kick at one point, and you know, she did a roundhouse and all this kind of stuff, you know, but it just wasn't working. Like it didn't pan out against a better striker than Deanna Bennett. She would have been knocked out, dude. She would have got caught, probably taken down and ground pound. Deanna Bennett, I mean, you could see in the picture, Deanna Bennett probably could have finished with some extra time. Could have finished Lara. I don't know if that was the first round, second round. It wasn't the third. I think it was the second.
Oh, in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she was throwing down some heavy punches, and Lara was covering up. She was getting hit like close to the back of the head and stuff, but she was getting hit hard, you know, as hard as Bennett could throw on top.
Right. Well, that'll be interesting to see how this plays out from here. I mean, that was a must-win kind of. It felt like for Deanna, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean that's what we said last week, and I don't think that she's not going anywhere now. I mean, she had a great showing.
Yeah, and Coker loves the story. If you've been listening to him, he loves the story of her dad being the police officer or whatever.
Yeah. Right there in San Jose.
Indeed. Yeah. But Joseph was not a fan. Welcome, Joseph. He says that Bellator 266 card was boring.
Come on. Phil Davis, his wrestling, bro. I mean, I get it. Yoel Romero didn't do shit. But Phil Davis, his wrestling, amazing, dude. Fucking amazing. Look, Phil Davis is a top-tier NCAA wrestler. Yoel Romero is a legit Olympic wrestler. NCAA wrestler beat the Olympic wrestler. Amazing fight from Phil Davis. Loved it. Fucking loved it.
I love me some Mr. Wonderful. I was just very happy to see him go back to his wrestling, Steve, because his last he's really fallen in love with his striking. And I think if he would have mixed it up better against Nemkov,
yeah, when you got hands, I mean, use them, I guess, right? But you gotta use that wrestling that got you to where you're at. He was a champion for fuck's sake. His wrestling got him there.
Well, right? Yeah, he's been a top guy for like a decade now. Like he's always been a top 10 light heavyweight. So I'm not at all surprised by that performance. But
you all didn't do shit, by the way. You all didn't do anything.
I mean, I thought he was a bit more active. I mean, the judge who gave him the fight, Jaron Vallel, let's throw his name out there because he is a referee as well and not a very good one. But
that is crazy, dude.
Just awful.
That's some crazy shit. Like, who the fuck saw? How did Yoel Romero win any round? How did Yoel Romero win a minute of that fight? Not even a round, a minute of the fight. He didn't.
Well, I didn't think it was that bad, but I definitely I didn't agree with that. So Bellator 266, everybody, and good to see you as well, Alexander.
Yes.
I know the usual crew doesn't know I think that we're on right now, which is fine. We'll catch you guys when we catch you. But that was Bellator 266. Steve, now we get to the real meat of the recaps, as there were 4 fights, 4 of them on UFC Vegas 37, and all pretty solid, all pretty fantastic. So we're kicking it off here with Hannah Goldie defeating Emily Whitmire via first round submission armbar at 417. So I feel terrible for I missed the Bennett fight, and then I missed this one because I did not expect the UFC to actually start on time
right away. Right.
Once.
Yeah.
And then fucking ESPN Plus was very slow. It's always slow to like boot up for me. And I mean, my connection's not great in general, but it was just, So I missed the fight. I saw the armbar at the end, which was beautiful. But Steve, tell me a little bit about this one as well. How did it look before that?
Yeah, I mean, Whitmire was actually on her way to doing well, and then she fucking got caught in an armbar.
She just plays around in the guard too much.
You can't yeah, dude, it's crazy. This is the second fight in a row where she's lost by armbar, I think, right?
Yeah, the Viana one.
Fucking crazy, dude. She's got to do something about that, man.
Litchfield says he feels so bad. Emily was winning.
She was winning. She was winning the fight, and then all of a sudden, fucking Hannah Goldie gets her in an armbar, as you can see right there on the screen, and Whitmire can't get out of them.
Crazy. Yeah, I did not expect that. Obviously, I mean, Steve got the pick right here on this one. Just kind of, we were both. It was a tough fight to pick, but I leaned towards Whitmire.
Neither of us picked a finish in this fight.
Right.
We picked it to go to decision. I for sure did not pick Hannah Goldie to win.
I might have said Whitmire by submission. I might have. I don't remember.
Okay, I didn't have Goldie winning. I had Goldie winning. Mm-hmm. I didn't have Goldie winning by armbar, and certainly not in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, but for now on, anybody who fights Emily Whitmire, I'm going to be like, all right, she's going to get armbarred.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's Emily Whitmire from now on by armbar.
She's got to fix that. But yeah, this was felt like a loser leaves town fight, Steve, and I'm afraid with the finish here definitely spells the end for Whitmire. But the question I think we should be asking now is, should Goldie stay at flyweight?
She looked all right, I guess. I mean, but we did say Joseph said as well, or no, Lynchold said.
Mm-hmm. She was winning.
Whitmire was winning that fight. So I mean, I don't know. It wasn't long enough, I guess, to see. But obviously, Hannah Goldie beat her.
Yeah.
So I mean, why not fight one more at flyweight? See if she can do the same thing, if not better. And I mean, against a better name than Emily Whitmire. And I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I don't think the cancellations she had before this help, but yeah, we'll see. We will see. She also lives in Vegas, right? So UFC likes people that are close that could fill in if needed. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But Stamina's here. London calling. How guys, Scrapbackers? Good to see you, sir.
So Joseph asked the question: should the UFC cut Whitmire all aboard the Bellator train?
I think it'd be more likely to the Invicta train.
I think Invicta would fit Invicta's style better than. I mean, look, I don't know if she's going to do well in Bellator's flyweight division.
Yeah,
she's barely doing well against Hannah Goldie.
Yeah, there's
do you see her going up against? Okay, I could see her fighting Laura, I guess, but do you see her doing?
She probably gets submitted there
against like Porto. No.
Oh boy.
No. You know, I mean, like, she's not going to fight the top, and maybe Loretta.
I mean, even that. Loretta's in still that very green territory, so Whitmire could win that one for sure. But I don't know. She is in a weird spot. we'll see. We'll see. But speaking of Invicta, Steve, my oh my, what a debut for one of Invicta's finest. She has arrived, and she is goddamn cold-blooded, Steve.
Yeah, man. Fuck, dude. Aaron Blatchfield.
We knew it.
Yeah, just put it on Sarah Alpar. Alpar was game though, man. Like she was game to get hit. You know, look at those total strike differences: 318 or 198 to 45. 318 thrown by Blanchfield and only 120 thrown by Alpar, doubling, tripling, almost tripling Blanchfield's output, or Blanchfield almost tripled Alpar's output. And then lose that control time, almost 10 minutes of control time for Blanchfield. It was just, I mean, Alpar was in the fight. Obviously, she didn't get finished, but as you can see on the bottom there, 30-25s in a 3-round fight. That means 2 10-8s.
I thought every round was a 10-8, honestly. This was a 30-24 for me. I mean,
you never see that.
Yeah. She's just so goddamn good. You look at that. I mean, practically 3 minutes of control in every single round. And, you know, we know she's got her grappling capabilities, Steve. But, I mean, she even went on the feet, showed off the striking, looked great, backed up Alpar. But like you said, she was very game and did come get in her face, particularly in the last round. But it just was not enough. And, you know, Aaron still does have some work to do with, I'd say, maybe her striking defense more than the offense. But, hey, she is capable of mixing it up. Obviously, she doesn't fight stupid, which is very, very important for a 22-year-old fighter like she is, similar to Ero Takabayashi, who maybe we'll talk about later. But, you know, it's awesome to see that, you know, she was able to effortlessly come into the UFC like this. I mean, goodness, dude. Knew it was going to be, we know the ceiling's high. Anyone who has seen her knows she's going to be around for as long as she wants to be. But even I don't know if I expected it to be this dominant. And, you know, she was a little upset she didn't get a finish, which is understandable, and was pretty close to it a couple times, obviously. But yeah, that was a borderline flawless performance. 8, maybe a little bit too many shots in certain points for to be flawless, but goddamn close. It was a pretty good debut.
Yeah, it was excellent, man. Blanchfield is legit. She's what we said that she was. She's what we said that she was. You know what we've been saying.
She is who we thought she was.
For sure. Man, amazing prospect, man. Love to watch her fight. It's gonna be nice seeing her fight better opponents. You know, she's not gonna do this to everybody, but
maybe she will.
But it's good to see her do it. You know, in her UFC debut against an opponent, quite frankly, that she probably should have done it to.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think that flyweight is where Alpart should be, and she never should have tested out bantamweight. And I mean, now she's had 2 very tough UFC fights. Obviously, the Jessie Jess massacre, and then this one.
Yeah, I mean, she takes fucking beatings. Jesus. Yeah. Sarah Alpar can take a beating. You can't say that she isn't able to take a beating. She is.
That is for sure. I can't wait till we see Erin Blanchfield back. She said she would love to be on the 268 November card, which now I wouldn't be mad at that one. I'll be there for that.
It's nice, you know, she's young, so I think we'll be able to see her fight 3 times a year now that she's in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, she seems like somebody who is well, and she also had, you know, a longer break than she should have when supposed to have that Pearl fight for the title, which is crazy. Like, we forget that she very well could have been a champion coming into this, but Yeah, I expect her to try and be more. She's been very active in her career already, Steve, because it's been very short. So she's racked up a lot of experience. And I saw, I think, shout out to Alex Behunin, our boy. He and Gizmo. He I think he suggested the Tracy Cortez rematch, which I think that's a pretty good next fight, Steve.
That's a tough fight for Cortez, to be honest. I mean, Cortez, you had Cortez losing that first fight anyway, right?
Yes.
And this is a very different Aaron Blanchfield than what Tracy Cortez saw.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this is a very different Tracy Cortez as well. But Aaron Blanchfield's a fucking menace, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up menace.
Yeah. So we'll see if the UFC wants to do that, but I wouldn't bank on it, I guess, but I'd like to see that because she should be undefeated. All right. Could talk about Aaron Blanchfield all day as Steve ignores the doorbell. Oh, rude.
They're just going to keep going. It's fucking
solicitors?
So, I don't know. So Joseph said he's not impressed with Aaron Blanchfield. Alpar will get cut by the UFC. I don't think that Alpar is going to get cut. But not impressed with Blanchfield. How? I don't understand that.
Hard to please, Joseph.
Like at all.
Please. All right, moving on though. This was a hell of a fight, Steve. Maybe the fight of the night for me. I mean, I'm trying to think of what other ones were better. And we expect this one to be great. I know that you believe the loser should have got the win. It was very fucking close, but alas, here we are.
Yeah. So Raquel Pennington ended up beating Penny Kianzad by decision. I saw Penny winning the fight, but I'm fine, I guess, with Raquel winning. I just saw that Penny did more than Raquel. She was the one that pressured up against the cage. She was the one that gave most of the that seemed to give the more significant strikes. But it was close. It was very close.
Yeah.
Looking at the numbers there,
they threw the exact same number of strikes, dude. That's insane.
Yes, that's wild. The same exact number of strikes. And then, of course, you can see the 50 of 98 for Penny, and then the 48 for 79 for Raquel.
It's around 6.
It's a very close fight. Control time, very close. A little bit of a difference between the two. Rocky was controlled a little bit more. It's fine that Raquel won the fight. I just saw, watching it, I saw Penny winning. But that also could be my love for Penny. Like you tend to see the person that you like winning more than the other person just because you like them more. I don't know. It was close. It was super fucking close, and I'm fine with Raquel winning. Really am. It sucks for Penny though. Fuck, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, big bummer. And I mean, I think that the first 2 rounds were pretty clear. First round to Penny, second round to Rocky, and then it was just that third man was so tight.
Close.
It was close. Like I didn't even put my score out because I wasn't even sure. Like I didn't want to say a 10-10, but by God, it was very, very close. So yeah, I totally understand either direction there.
So you go down to the round 3. Penny put out 43 of 82 strikes, while Raquel put out 39 of 62. So Penny put through 20 more strikes than Rocky. She did, but there was a 12% difference in between the landing strikes. Right?
Yeah.
The control time was
practically the same.
115 to 119. That's the same to me.
That's all cage control too. That was
a squash. That's a squash.
Yeah, that was a war. But I mean, they both looked Both looked very good.
Amazing fight, man. Amazing fight.
Rocky winning is worse for the division, that's for sure. But
Agree fully. Rocky winning is worse for the division, but I mean, what she won the fight. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just feel bad. I feel really bad for Pam.
Yeah,
because she put out such a great fight. If it was a draw, I would have been fine with it. Honestly, I hate draws.
Mm-hmm.
Find a way to figure it out. But this was so fucking close. So close.
Yeah, it really was. So she shouldn't be too upset. But I am surprised, though, that actually none of the judges thought she won. But it is what it is. Life goes on. Mr. Lee is here. He says this was his fight of the night. Good to see you, by the way, Mr. Lee. Good matchup, quality fight. They could both give it and take it. That is for sure.
Agree 100%.
Knew that would be the case. So
yeah,
that was very good stuff. And Penny will be back, no doubt about that. So.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't want her to lose ranking, you know? Raquel.
I mean, she'll still be ranked, but I know what you mean.
She was number 12, right?
Yeah.
Raquel.
No. I think she was 8. I think she was up to 8.
Oh shit! Did she go up more?
Yeah, and then Pennington was 9. They were right next to each other. Yeah, they're top 10, dude. That's why we were so mad that this was so low on the card.
No, Penny's number 12, and then
really?
Rocky was unranked. Remember?
Rocky was unranked okay. Right. I don't know why I don't know where I got 8 and 9 from, but yeah.
But I mean,
that makes sense because the suspension,
right?
And she almost died from COVID, by the way. So
yeah, man, how crazy is that?
Just dropping that on the broadcast, guys. Jeez, kind of a big deal.
That? She was like, yeah, I almost died. Like it was fucking nothing. Crazy. That woman's crazy.
Yes, she is. But back in the win column for Rocky. Good. Or, I mean, I guess she has a streak now because she beat Marion Renault in her last fight. But yeah, either way, Steve, our prayers were answered to the MMA gods in this next one, though. My goodness. Violence Queen returneth.
Yeah, man. But Mandy Baum, she really disappointed, man.
This was a very off night for Mandy. And a terrible game plan. Terrible game plan.
Dude, so she got clipped by a right hand, right? There was
twice.
But
she had sat down twice.
Yeah, there was the one though. There was the one where Lipsky clipped her with the right hand and fucking she like stiffened up. She like stiffened up. Like, yeah. I was like, oh shit, this is it. Violence Queen is back, baby. But I mean, she obviously didn't get the finish, but man, Lipsky looked good.
Yeah, and
didn't.
No, she did not. And in the brief takedown attempts that Mandy did go for, which not enough and not executed enough. Lipsky defended pretty nicely. And even got on top there in the first round.
Yeah.
She I mean, we know every time it's on the feet with Lipsky, you're in danger. So it wasn't surprising to see her do this. It was just Mandy did not really look like herself. And then on the feet, that is, but just not to go really to the well with her wrestling was just not a good idea, clearly. And I feel I would have expected her to know that, because she was so familiar with Lipsky. She said she watched her in KSW. I was like, well, then you know what she's good at. Everyone knows what she's good at. We all know what Lipsky is good at and bad at, right?
So. Yeah. Oh no, it's wide open. It's there for you. If you watch the tape, if you've seen Lipsky fight throughout her whole career, nothing has changed. Other than maybe she's gotten a little bit better on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, she was fine on the ground in KSW. Steve, remember she had some submissions there. I think she submitted Belbita to she did, who obviously in the UFC now too. But then the grappling pretty much disappeared in the UFC outside of a knee bar. And then here looked
that crazy
pretty good
knee bar
against Carolina. So yeah, this was a very great performance from Lipski. I think probably her best in the UFC overall.
Well, her best whole entire performance.
Exactly.
That knee bar was amazing and probably the highlight of her career so far. That knee bar was amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was some nasty shite. But yeah, you love to see it. She definitely needed that. You know, she would have been on a 3-fight losing streak.
Three fight losing streak. Never would have seen that. Like what we talked about last week. We never would have even thought after watching her do her thing in KSW and then coming into the UFC, we would have never thought that she was going to go on lose like this, like that, like what she has, you know, watching her before her UFC career. Crazy. Hopefully the violence queen is back, man.
Yep. I mean, for now you could say so, but I'm still going to hold my breath because like I said, Mandy did not really test her in the grappling as much as she should have. So I'm not going to get too excited yet, but if she can keep it up, obviously that's what we want to see. Stamina disagrees, Steve.
Carolina fan.
Right. Loves that Brazilian Muay Thai. Does a little stamina. But all right. That was UFC Vegas 37. Steve, solid event overall. I enjoyed it. But oh boy, you know what I enjoyed even more was RIZIN 30, you guys. By God.
Hell of a fucking scrap, man. Holy shit.
My goodness. Both of them. So, I mean.
So one can take a lot of damage, right?
Very much so. I'm assuming you saw the picture.
More than the other.
Yes, very much so. But Steve, I meant there were 2 fights. Did you catch the kickboxing match? Because
I did not watch the kickboxing.
Oh my God, it was the opener.
I know. Is it? Drake, you need to start texting me. Honestly, text me. Look, RIZIN's on right now. You need to turn it on. But because I start doing other shit, you know, and I just totally like forget. If I'm not on social media, it's over. Like I won't even remember.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But anyway,
I need to watch this fight. By the way,
yes.
I want to see Panchan.
This was a very good, fun fight. Both ladies brought it on this stage as expected, but in the end, Panchan gets the unanimous decision. The key, as always, for Reina Panchan, you know it, Steve. She is a 101 tutorial on how to use distance in kickboxing with striking. That was pretty much the story of it. And, you know, Mocha put up a good fight, had to close that distance, and they had some fun brawls and exchanges. I mean, this fight was pretty much just go, go, go. The pace was very high, but yeah, Panchan just fucking that distance, man. It is the great equalizer. Those legs, the front kicks that she utilizes, awesome stuff. This was very fun and a good little showcase for the very first ever female kickboxing fight in RIZIN. And of course, the superstar herself, Reina Panchan. Very fun fight.
RIZIN has a good one in Panchan, it seems. Like you mentioned last week, her YouTube videos are pretty amazing. She has a lot of followers. She's very likable, marketable.
Yes.
RIZIN knows what they're doing with Panchan. Obviously putting her in the very first female kickboxing match. So, I mean, they know what they have with her.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a no-brainer to have her get in this spotlight and work out this way. So good deal. Very happy for her. She is an absolute superstar indeed. And she's already become good friends with Kana, everybody. She is friends with Kana Watanabe. If you've seen the maid videos, very funny stuff. Working out in their maid outfits is always hilarious to see. And Zazakita is here. Good to see you, Zazakita. He says, they should have Kubota fight Panchan. Loser has to lose the Reina name. And then he says, well, Reina. Yep, they are different names as Akita. You stupid idiot. No, I'm just kidding. But I have seen that suggested already. Panchan versus Reina, which I don't think we will end up ever seeing. Of course, that is a little bit of a dream fight just from, obviously Reina's background and whatnot. But I think that
I don't know. Does Reina even want to kickbox anymore?
That's the thing.
She isn't.
Panchan's not thinking about MMA at all right now, right?
Yeah, there's no MMA for Panchan. But Reina, does she even want to kickbox? She was amazing. She was an amazing shootbox fighter. But does she even want to kickbox?
Yeah. I mean, she might not even want to fight anymore, dude.
Exactly.
It's kind of.
We don't even know if she wants to fight. Period. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like Joanna.
I don't think that she's gonna. I don't think Panchan is on her list of fighters to fight. Reina's a
that would be
demigod. I mean, she's amazing. She's amazing. Panchan isn't there yet. She's not at Reina's level. Reina doesn't know who she is. I mean, obviously Reina knows who she is, but she's not on her list. Not there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. It would be pretty dumb of RIZIN to not try and make that happen, right? Like, let's say in kickboxing, if they could persuade Reina, be like, hey, what do you think about this? Because Reina clearly doesn't want to fight Hamasaki. I think that's kind of obvious at this point, which is a bummer because that's we need to see that fight. Yeah, and Panchan says that Reina has been a bit of an inspiration to her. So, I mean, there's a great story kind of for those fantastic strikers.
Yeah, I mean, RIZIN can sell the shit out of that story.
And I mean, they're both two of them.
If Reina went back to kickboxing, I mean, they can sell the shit out of that. She had an amazing shootbox career. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. The queen of shootbox. So... Sazakita, I know we've been saying that, man. Give me a Reina versus Ayaka, another friend versus friend.
I don't know if Reina wants it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Hamasaki doesn't give a fuck. She's down. Speaking of the GOAT, though, let's get into that one. You did see this fight, Steve, right? You had to see this one.
I saw most of it.
Okay.
I know how it went. And I saw that Emmy got fucking bloody as shit, hamburger face, poor thing.
I know, my God.
Man, look at that.
This was violence, dude.
Look at her poor face. She was in it all the way, though. Amazing.
I thought it was pretty close. I really did, but I mean, clearly the damage was in Hamasaki's favor. Just visually, you can see that. But I thought Emmy put up a fantastic fight for being strictly a boxer, because I was making sure I was paying attention, because Ghost pointed out 0 kicks from Fujino in this fight, not a single kick thrown, and she did pretty damn good. And I mean, not that Ayaka threw very many kicks either, but it was pretty much a boxing match, Steve. But she definitely threw more, just leg kicks. I think I don't remember her going high or anything like that. So this was an absolute brawl. Not what I expected, man. I'm pretty pissed, though, that we didn't get to see ground game. It's like Covington and Usman. I'm a little upset about that, dude.
Yeah. I mean, they wanted to fight each other. They didn't want to go to the ground. I think that they probably knew.
We got that out of the way the first time.
Right.
We roll all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They were like, let's fucking fight each other. Let's fucking throw hands and see who's better. Obviously, Hamasaki's the better fighter.
Yeah.
Look at Emmy's poor face.
We knew that, but I mean, did you see Steve, the picture she posted today? Because I tweeted that out for those of you who don't follow me or didn't see it. Yada yada. My goodness, it's brutal, man. Here, let me pull this up. Emmy posted this like an hour or so ago, actually. Let's get it here. She can't see very well. So you want to be a fighter. My goodness.
That whole left side of her face is fucked.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad saying this, but it looks like she had a stroke.
Oh man, she's
You
a
know what I mean?
fucking warrior though, man. To
You know what I
take
mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, Steve.
Okay. That looks terrible. Poor thing.
She is such a goddamn savage. Like, you just looking back last week at the Phantom Punch breakdown and being reminded of how much damage that how tough she is, you know, in the fights against like Weili and Xiaonan and just practically everyone. She is very capable of taking some hard shots. Continues that here despite now being 40 years old. I don't think it was a bad loss. I mean, obviously it's Hamasaki, but like, she showed up, man, on this stage.
Yeah.
A little bit of a victory and defeat. I think she went out there, put on a fucking war. This fight was crazy. So very fun, but ultimately, yep, the goat keeps on goating. And Sazakita says it. Ayaka cleared out the division already. It's boring. Yeah, I mean, boring. I think I know what you mean in terms of freshness, but I mean, it got creative here with this rematch. But says, who is she going to fight now? Kana Sakura 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need new blood. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see the Kana trilogy ever. But there's people coming up. Sazakita, we got Sekizawa dropping down to a 108 against Park, which both of those ladies should be in RIZIN now. Sarioshima is the double champ in Deep Jewels. She, I promise you, will be in this mix very soon as well. There are people coming up, Sazakita. It's just like they're not quite ready yet for Ayaka. So it's like we might have to keep doing some of these kind of fun, a little bit of fantasy fights for the meantime,
I mean,
right?
Ayaka's what, 40?
Yeah, she's 39. I don't know when her birthday is, but she'll be 40 soon.
Yeah. So she's getting up there. She's had a shit ton of fights.
Got to enjoy her while she's around, man.
Yep. I don't really care who she's fighting at this point in her career. I mean, of course, I want to see her in great fights, obviously. Mm-hmm. And once she ends up slowing down for good, I want to see her go out the right way. But she's not there yet. She's still at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the thing with her too. I've gotten the sense from speaking to her, it's like, yeah, until I kind of, feel like I'm slowing down a bit, then I probably will. But she's not thinking about it too much, which is great because, we love to watch her fight. She's incredible, obviously. But man, oh man. Sazakita, though. The Reina fight is the only one right now. But again, not going to happen.
I'm sure that RIZIN would be like, if Reina was like, I want to beat this girl's ass, I want to fight her, I'm sure RIZIN would be like, all right.
Yeah, okay, try.
Yeah, they would probably have, like, I don't think they would have any problem putting her in there, though.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
But I don't know if it'll be good for Reina.
No, probably not. But hey, that's a fresh fight. That'd be a fun fight. Sazakita says, why has Hamasaki been striking only lately? Training for a stand-up war? I think
she was trained. They literally trained for a stand-up war. They didn't go to the ground, like Drake was saying. They didn't go to the ground. So yeah, I think they probably talked to each other and they were like, let's fucking fight. Let's throw hands.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the pre-fight press conference, I think Emmy said that she wanted to knock her out, or that she would get a knockout. So they surely talked about it. Yeah, they're very close to one another.
They literally trained together.
Yeah, just went out and did the damn thing. And in this stage of her career, Sazakita, she's really embraced the striking. Because she was primarily just a grappler for most of it. I mean, her striking was good enough early on, but she's clearly improved leaps and bounds.
I mean, look what she's doing to
yeah, seriously.
Including a friend.
Yes. And even the Ham fight, and yeah, she is lethal. Sazakita says, because Kubota versus Hamasaki match has two dynamics, Hamasaki ground easily, Kubota wins stand-up. I mean,
I don't know if
I
don't know if she wins stand-up. Like, we haven't seen the best from her in a long time now. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Tommy Matsu fight, which was her last one. I mean, Emmy hung on the feet with her, which I did not at all expect. Um, and if Emmy Tamimatsu could, then you better believe Ayaka Hamasaki can. So, yeah, not sold on that, Sasuke. But yes, on paper, you're totally right there. But LOL, the disrespect, he says.
Not disrespect. I think it's just at this point, it's just what it is. It's pretty much facts at this point.
Yep. But fingers crossed for that. But again, don't hold your breath for Reina versus Ayaka. But man, what a show RIZIN 30 was, Steve. Plenty of fun all across the board. I missed RIZIN. And how great was it? I'm sure, I don't know if you probably didn't see, but they did that retirement ceremony send off for Ishiwatari.
I saw that they did it.
To see it.
I saw that they did it. I didn't see it. I need to go back and watch RIZIN. I mean, that's what I typically do.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the West Coast, so it's
they'll have the fights up soon on YouTube.
It's early morning for us. So I go back and watch it when they put them up.
Yeah. So.
Typically that's what I do. I've been doing that the past 3 cards, I think.
Mm-hmm. Steve just can't stay awake. Good stuff. Right.
Yeah, especially not when I'm feeling like shit.
That isn't great either. So all right, you guys, there we are. All the recaps in the books. A great weekend of action, I would say. Really enjoyed it. But we got stuff coming up to talk about and things that have happened. All that good fun. And this is normally where we do the mailbag. But once again, no mail in the mailbag this week. And I think this is just because we've been all over the place. Obviously.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're not giving the we're not on the same day. We're not at the same, it's just we're all over the place. So
yes. So Monday next week is the plan. We'll get back on the rails. Things are just they've just been crazy lately. So you know how it goes, everybody. So with that in mind, let's get into the news. The old newsy news. And just 2 bits of news here. I mean, really only one, but we'll look at it anyway, as Aya Murakami is back at microweight, taking on Yasuko Tamada.
Love the microweight.
Deep. Oh, yes. Deep Impact.
So deep. Small.
Yes, indeed. October 17th. Look at this, Steve. They were really stacking up this big deep show, the main deep with the women's fights. You love to see it. Give them some shine. And Aya Murakami, obviously, who lost out on the atomweight tournament. I was really excited to see her in that. She was kind of my dark horse. She got sick, had to come out. And then at the last event, gets the armbar against Chibasai. Very dominant showing from her. And turning right around. You love to see it, taking on Tamada, who's been around for a hot minute. So, and at microweight. So giving some love to the 97-pounders.
Yeah. It's really nice to see, like you said, deep picking up the women.
Yeah.
The women's fights, putting them on the main card.
Yeah, on Big Deep. So I mean they do, women's fights too, but they put a lot on this card. So
yeah.
Cool to see. And Aya, undefeated, good potential with her, of course. So yeah, that should be a fun one. October 17th. And that is the same card as I mentioned, Izawa versus Park. So that's going to be a fucking good show, you guys. And oh, dude, Steve, I got to pull up the poster. I'm sure you didn't see it, but it's awesome.
I saw
Did you see that? They're in the suits and everything.
Yeah, I saw it.
I love Deep might have the best posters, you guys. I mean, RIZIN's up there too, obviously, but just Japan, they just do such good poster work, man.
Yeah, no, they
awesome.
Know what they're doing when it comes to the visuals and the marketing of fights.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can find this real quick because I really like that one. That was so cool. I know it's on Twitter. I liked it, but I didn't.
Richwold said, "I love Japan MMA posters." Yes. They are amazing.
Damn. Well, I didn't find it with a search, but it's a good one, you guys. So take my word for it. Unless you want to send it to me mid-show. But either way, I Murakami's back and against Tamada. That will be fun. That whole card will be fun, as mentioned. So moving on to the other piece of business, which not real news, Steve, but this fight has been rebooked because somebody got their visa or whatever. So here we are.
So Courtney Casey's going to take on Liana Jojua November 13th. They were supposed to fight
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And then Jojua couldn't get her visa, unfortunately, but now it seems like that she has been able to. Crazy that the UFC is still trying to get fighters who are having issues, even on cards, like Dan Hooker this week.
Oh my God, what a crazy situation he's going through. I'm glad you mentioned that because that is some fucking crazy shit, dude.
Wild, bro. Wild. If you guys don't know, so he applied for a visa, obviously.
Mhm.
New Zealand is on lockdown. I think the day before he was supposed to leave, New Zealand went on a whole country lockdown. He was unable to leave to Vegas. He's still in New Zealand right now. He's trying to get a hold of people to fix his visa and whatnot. Can't do shit. Takes to Twitter, takes to social media. Social media does its thing, gets the attention of the embassy there in New Zealand. I think it's the embassy. Gets the attention of them. They tell him to come on Tuesday, I think, which is what, 2 days before he even has to weigh in. Like, it's just nuts. So he's right now, he still doesn't know if he's gonna fight on Saturday in 6 days. He still doesn't know if he's gonna be able to make it to America, to Las Vegas, to fight. Still, at this very second, he doesn't know if he's gonna be able to make it to UFC 266.
And his plan, right, is he says if it all works out perfectly, the way that it can work out, he'll get there, like the night or hours before weigh-ins.
Literally hours. He didn't even say like a day before.
Yeah.
He said hours before weigh-ins. Hours. That's fucking insane, dude. That is like fucking crazy.
If he can, like, that gives Nasrat such a better chance. Like, so circumstances, like, he's not going to feel very good going into that fight.
Scott is saying, I think you got the visa a couple hours ago. I haven't seen anything. I didn't look. I didn't even cross my mind to even think about it up until we started talking about it literally right now. I'm happy for him that he's able to get the visa, but again, he's still going to go through the same thing because he said that there's only one flight out, and it's still the same flight. So he's going to get there on like Wednesday or something like that, or even Wednesday night, our time, Pacific time, or some shit like that. So the whole story is fucking wild. So again, I don't understand why the UFC is even booking these fighters. Like, I get it, you want them to fight or whatever, but you're going to go through visa issues. Like, we're not going to get the best Dan Hooker at this point. He's not going to give the best Dan Hooker. It will not be in that cage.
Yeah, it is wild, but for Jojua, it's good for her. We'll see.
She has plenty of time.
Yeah, hopefully she can avoid anything crazy. She should come here now. She should come here when she can.
Yeah. Crazy shit. What the UFC should do is make sure that the fighters have the visas all set in stone and that's it. I guess it sucks because New Zealand went on lockdown literally a day before Dan Hooker was supposed to leave.
Yeah, that is brutal. But props to him for trying, like to make it work. Like, geez, what a madman. Like, I can't imagine trying
He
to.
could have been like, fuck it, just put me on the Abu Dhabi card.
Seriously. Well, even then, like just getting out of New Zealand, right? Like that's just
but
a problem.
at least it's further out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, closer, right?
And closer, and a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah.
I mean,
madness, but Casey Jojua, I'm fine with it still happening. Should be that'd be a decent matchup. All good. Good to see Jojua back. Feel like it's been a while since we last saw her. So, since the Maverick loss, right? That was her last fight, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But we'll see when it goes down November 13th. All right, Steve. Time to preview. We have 2 cards this weekend. 4 fights once again for the UFC. But before that, it's One Championship Revolution. There is a single fight. And it's the Battle of Victorias.
Victoria Lee versus Victoria Souza. Victoria Lee, we just saw her fight, it feels like.
I know.
What, like a month ago? Not even?
Maybe a month and a half. It is. Let's see. We can look. We have the power of technology.
It feels like it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah, a month and a half-ish.
Yeah, it feels like it was just like a week ago,
I felt like it was farther ago, but no, you're right. You are right, sir. Let me zoom out a little bit here. But yeah, Battle of Victorias. Victoria Souza, also a very good prospect, as you can see there. She is 5-0, 24 years old, Brazilian, getting the wins on the regional scene against a bunch of debutantes. So take that for what it is. But I don't know too much about Victoria Souza. Victoria Lee, though, is clearly
we know about her.
Freak of nature for her age, prodigy child. 17 now. Her birthday was a little bit ago, I think. But yeah, Battle of Victorias. She absolutely dominated in that last fight against Lu Ping.
Yeah.
Safe to expect a little bit of the same here, Steve. I mean, let's see how Victoria Souza has been winning. She's been finishing, so that's interesting. That's good. That's what you would hope to see when she's taking on people making their debuts.
Only one by decision.
Yep. And 2 knockouts and 2 submissions. So literally as diverse as she could be with the numbers there. Litchfield says he likes the prospect versus prospect fights. Yeah, and I mean, when you're at this experience level that Victoria Lee is at, which is not a lot, similar to like Valerie Loretta and those kind of fighters, this is what you got to do. You got to be slow with it, and
we're literally seeing the same thing with Victoria Lee and Valerie Loretta.
Yes,
Bellator and one are doing the same exact thing with those two,
as they should. So yeah, should be fun. Again, not super sure what to expect out of Victoria Souza, but her record indicates she can do everything to some extent. But so can Victoria Lee. She's shown that in the 2 fights, and she is a Lee. So by default, I mean, judge just by how good she's looked, how dominant that last win was in particular. My goodness. Victoria Lee, I think, will get it done again. She'll find a finish. I'm going to say round 2, though. I think Souza will make it a little bit fun while it lasts. But Victoria Lee got that killer instinct, Steve. So I think she'll get it done.
She definitely does. But, I mean, it's only 2 fights. Things happen in MMA. Souza could be a very good fighter. We don't know how good she is because...
Look at Mezabarba showed up and showed out against Yamaguchi.
Yeah. We just don't know. She could be a fucking killer. I mean, look at 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. She can be an absolute killer and open our eyes to her. Obviously, one thinks kind of highly of her. They're putting her on a card against Victoria Lee. They want to build up Victoria Lee, so I don't think that they're not going to give her Victoria Lee hard fights, but Victoria Souza is, I guess, legit. I don't know. I'll go decision Lee.
Ooh.
Just because I don't know much about Souza, and she can come out like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
But I know what I've seen from Lee. She's very good.
Yes.
And fighting on the same card as her brother Christian,
Right.
is it's a dynamic.
Can help or hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like eventually it's gonna bite them in the ass. I don't know if this is the one. I just feel like it's eventually gonna bite them in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think that Angela and Christian, they fought on the same card once, I think, and
yeah,
pretty sure they both won.
Great.
But
yeah. Yeah,
so,
but Victoria is so young. So, I mean, anything can happen at this point, and it wouldn't be like complete shock because she's so young and she's only had 2 fights.
Right. So, looking forward to that one, as well as Christian's fights. Should be good stuff. They're always good stuff from them. So, yep, darn tootin', looking to defend the belt. And yeah, Victoria Lee getting those reps in. So that's all you can ask for at this stage in her career.
Yep.
See how it turns out in the Victoria battle, the Battle of Victoria. So that is fun. But Steve, what is going to be even more fun is UFC 266 in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena.
What a great card.
What a card it is. A card that Dan Hooker is on the prelims for.
Wow.
Which is, yeah, definitely something.
Wow, I can't even think that Dan Hooker's on prelims.
Yeah, who saw that coming? But before that, we have
Nick Diaz.
Actually, he's after, actually. But all these fights are flyweight fights, so it's a little bit of a showcase. I didn't realize that. But starting things off is one of the absolute best prospects in the sport right now, Steve. You know, we're all very high on the lady from France.
Yep. Manon Firo is fighting Myra Bueno Silva. This is going to be a banger, dude. Violence, I think.
Big violence potential. Yeah, this should be very exciting. I mean, both of these fighters are very exciting by themselves. Put them together. Awesome stuff there. Firo kind of looks like Holly Holm in this picture, doesn't she? I see a little bit of Holly right there. The Beast, because she is one hell of a striker. Not the worst ground game in the world either, but we know what her strengths are. Mayra Bueno Silva can hang everywhere, but I think it's safe to say that Firo is definitely the better striker of the two. She is violent. She is sharp. Great combinations.
They're both violent, man.
That they are in almost identical records, but that draw for MBS in that last fight with Montana De La Rosa, which was a good one as well. This is going to be fun. This is going to be very fun, Steve. But, just right out the gate, I'm going to tell you, I'm not picking against Firo because I am riding her to the moon, the hype train for Amanda Fior. I think she is exceptional. She will be a top 10 fighter before we know it. Bueno Silva is very tough. I don't know if she'll get finished, but I think Firo will do her thing just to get the better of the exchanges. Bueno Silva's best chance, I think, would be on the ground to find a submission, but I don't see the fight playing out there. I think Firo will be too strong to get taken down, or she's just too sharp. I don't think she'll get in any bad positions like that. But yeah, knockout potential is there. Litchfield Scott pointing out how they both have power for a knockout. This will be a fun one. It will definitely be a fun one. But I'm on the Firo train, Steve. I think she'll do her thing. Yeah. So unanimous decision for me in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Silva did catch a submission, but I just don't think it's going to be on the ground too much.
Yeah, I don't see this as a ground fight. I mean, Bueno Silva will be better if it goes there. I don't know. I think that she's very fine and content with throwing punches with people, and she'll take what Furo gives her and she'll give right back. She hits hard. Bueno Silva does. She hits fucking hard, man. But so does Furo. Crazy, wild to think that we can see either of them getting a knockout, and it would be like, yeah, saw that, and it was you can visualize that happening. I'm gonna go Bueno Silva.
Oh, I knew you were gonna go against me here.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not because I'm going against you.
I know.
Remember, Bueno Silva's a really good fighter, man. Like, she's really fucking good. But that's not saying that Furo isn't. She is. She obviously is. Very good. Just believe more in Bueno Silva, I guess. I don't know, man.
I think that this fight,
if Furo wins at all.
Right. Yeah, I think that this fight has potential to be kind of. It's a little bit of a sleeper for a fight of the night potentially. This could be a big time banger. I mean, we remember that Moro's fight with Bueno Silva was wild. What that was in Uruguay, right? Was does it say here? But I mean, it was the loss. But
yeah,
fantastic fight that was. But yeah, that'll be a good one. I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's one of the first couple fights, might be the second one on the whole card, but either way, two very talented ladies who I think will be around for a good bit. Obviously,
only 30 years old. Well, Furo was 31.
Yeah, same, same. So that is the first of the 4 flyweight fights on UFC 266. As we go from what should be a banger to, it's always interesting with old Roxy, Steve.
Yeah, man.
Tough one.
Santos. I don't know, man. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't think that we've seen the best from Santos yet, and Roxy just doesn't go away. You know, it's just, and she takes beatings and she ends up winning fights that she's not supposed to win, and it's wild with Roxanne Modafferi. Oh, she's on that win-loss thing though.
Uh-oh.
She's coming up to the win though, I guess, if you're going with that. Going along with that.
Right. And man, it was Roxy's birthday like yesterday. You see this? That's crazy. Happy birthday to her. Happy warrior. Crazy. Yeah. The 2B record holder for most female fights of all time, Roxanne Modafferi. But yeah, man, despite the win-loss pattern here she's got going on, and despite how well she can play spoiler, as she often does, she's going to need to get on top of Taila Santos. And as we've seen in Taila Santos's last 2 performances in particular, I mean, Meatball Molly and Jillian completely shut them down pretty much in the grappling only. And we know she's a very good striker, so she's showing that she is very strong pretty much everywhere. On the feet, this is her fight. Easy.
Yeah.
On the ground, I mean, we'll see what Roxy can do. Of course, she's very crafty. She's a black belt. If anybody's going to give Taila a very good test, aside from obviously Romero Barella in her debut, it's going to be Roxy. So, but I mean, you want to talk about some hype trains that I'm also hopping on. I mean, since those last 2 fights, Taila Santos turned me around, because her first 15 fights before the UFC, most padded record of all time, I'll tell you that much. But she has proven to be not just a padded record. So
no, she's not.
She's fucking very good.
She's
this
legit.
Is potential coming out party.
Yeah.
And Yeah, as much as we love Roxy, I think this is a very tough one. So
hard to pick her, to be honest.
yeah, I think Santos for me. And decision. I mean, Roxy's so tough; it's hard to imagine her getting finished. But I could see it, but I'm not going to pick that. Roxy's very durable. So unanimous decision once again. Tyler Santos keeps on keeping on, breaks into the top 10.
Yeah. Modafari is ranked what, number 9?
Around there, yeah.
Silva or Santos is. Modafari is number 9 and Santos is number 12. So yeah, if Santos were to beat Modafari, it would be fair for her to jump up in ranking, while Modafari finally is out of the top 10. That's only if Santos ends up winning the fight, which I do see happening. I don't want to say that Modafari is going to get knocked out, because I would hate to see that, but Santos has all of the attributes to do it, man. It's not going to be an easy fight for Modafari, I don't think, on the feet. If they go to the ground, Modafari's we should lean Modafari on the ground, but Santos is still very good on the ground. This isn't a good fight for Modafari, I don't think.
Yeah, and Syndicate needs the wins right now. They're on a bit of a slide, obviously.
Losing streak, hard losing streak right now. I don't think this is the one to turn it around.
Yeah, rough one indeed, but that's the way of the world. So, official prediction, Steve?
I'm going Santos decision. Modafari is too tough. She doesn't get finished easily, man.
No, she does not. I mean, I don't remember the last time has she been finished since like she was on that terrible losing streak? You know, like when she was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Lately.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a very good while. But yeah, we'll see if it's now, if it's this week. But
that'd be a bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer to see. It sucks even seeing her lose, but it would suck to see her get finished.
Right. So
because it's eventually coming, man. She's been around forever. We talk about Hamasaki being around forever. Roxanne Modafari has been around, legit, the pioneer.
Yep. That is a fact. So, all right. But as we get to the main card, opening the main card, Steve, we have the last title challenger, the former champ herself, looking to rebound, that is.
Yeah, Jessica Andrade is taking on Cynthia Calvillo. When they made this fight, I think we were both kind of surprised by it. I'm still surprised that it's going to happen. I don't think that this is a good fight for Calvillo.
No.
Andrade is a fucking monster. She's a little monster, man.
Yeah, this is...
She hits so fucking hard. She's a truck.
This makes me feel a little bit similar to the Roxy fight, actually, in a way. But I mean, this is just a nightmare matchup for Cynthia Calvillo. This is real bad, man. Like, you think about Cynthia Calvillo, she is a very good wrestler, Steve, right? I'm sure you love watching her, do her thing.
Yeah,
when
but
she's on.
Yeah, but her last fight, she didn't wrestle.
No, did not fight. She fought Caitlin Chukagian the absolute way you should not fight Caitlin Chukagian, and Caitlin did her thing. So the thing with this fight is,
if Calvillo has the balls to go into Andrade, because there's a lot of knockout power there.
Mm-hmm.
If she were to get clipped, if Calvillo is able to go in on Andrade and get the takedown, then the fight could lean her way. It's just,
right.
Is it going to happen? Calvillo is a really good wrestler, guys. really, really good wrestler. I love her wrestling. To be honest, like I really like her wrestling a lot. But is it gonna happen? Man, that's some scary shit to go in on.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, if it will be good enough for somebody like Jessica Andrade, who, is just such a powerful force of nature. And, when you think about the times that Jessica has actually been out wrestled, Steve, like you look at, obviously the last fight was the worst case for her, where that was Valentina, who's just a freak, right?
Yeah.
But then the other times it's happened was at bantamweight when she was way less experienced, like 8 years ago, against Liz Carmouche, and at bantamweight years ago when she was far from the fighter she is now. So will Cynthia Calvillo be able to replicate those things? Former strawweight Cynthia Calvillo, I just cannot see it. And then on the feet, I don't think her boxing has anything for Andrade. I mean, maybe she can touch her up with the jab a little bit, but it's not going to stop her from. It's not going to stop her from coming at her with the bombs that Andrade possesses. Think she'll light her up in that case, but this is just a tough one for Calvillo. I see this fight playing out almost the same as the Gadelia fight. This is what this reminds me of, because Claudia, a decent striker as well. She's all right, but we know she's a great grappler.
Yeah.
Couldn't do really anything against Andrade. Got slammed around. Andrade was on top of her. I can see this being exactly like that fight. So I think it's going to play out pretty much just like that. So Andrade, unanimous decision for me. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I would be surprised by a finish. Calvillo is very, very tough as well, but I struggle to see her have much success in this one. It's a bad matchup.
Yeah, exactly. I just do not like this matchup at all for Cynthia Calvillo. I like Cynthia Calvillo a lot, actually. I really like the way that she fights. Her wrestling is phenomenal. It's her winning leans on her using her wrestling, being able to use her wrestling or not, being able to go in on Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade is super fucking tough to get down, though. She's like when she plants her feet, she's immobile. It's like picking up dead weight, basically. Sure, she's tiny as shit, but she's very hard to get down.
Yep, that is for sure.
I think that Andrade is going to be able to clip Calvillo and probably fucking knock her out, man. It sucks to say that because I like Calvillo a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bad matchup. Terrible fucking matchup. I hope Calvillo proves me wrong. I really hope Calvillo proves me wrong, because I've liked Calvillo for a very long time. You know this trick.
Yes.
I've liked her for a very long time. I hope she proves both of us wrong, and probably the whole fucking world, to be honest. What are the odds on this? Are they up?
I'm surprised that they're not on here. Maybe they add those on Mondays, but since we're here on Sunday, they don't have them on here yet. But Andrade guaranteed to be the favorite. Cynthia pulling this off would clearly be the better for the division, since Andrade just fought for the title and all that. But it's just not happening. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's really hard to visualize Calvillo being able to take Andrade down
and keep her there
and stay on top of her. Like the thing about it is, if Calvillo takes her down, I think that she is able to, because her wrestling is so good. She's a wrestler. That's what she is. It's just getting there. For me, it's just getting there.
Yeah, for sure. So, official pick, Steve. Do you think the knockout's coming? Or are you going to go with the heart? Take Calvillo. What are you doing?
No, I'm not going to go with Calvillo. I'm not going to go Calvillo. Not against Andrade. Bad matchup. Andrade probably finishes the fight round 2.
There you have it, folks. Gonna be an interesting one, I suppose, to kick off the main card. Yeah, that will be something. So
I'm glad it's on the main card, though.
Yeah, that is nice. I mean, Jessica Andrade, former champ, got it.
It's a really good fight, man.
And then after that, we work our way to Joseph's favorite fight and Yusuf's favorite fight. Valentina. I don't know where Yusuf has been.
Just being quiet, or are you dead, or what's going on here, Yusuf?
So here we are, Steve, the co-main event of the evening.
Yeah,
Valentina
Shevchenko and Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy finally gets her shot. The one that she's been asking for so long.
I mean, she should have got it earlier than now, if we're going to be honest. But here we are, Lauren Murphy getting the opportunity to try and dethrone the Bullet. Will luck be on Lucky's side?
Man, I would love to see it. Would absolutely love to see it happen.
Oh my God, the internet would break.
I would be happy as shit if it were to happen. And if Lauren Murphy were to beat Valentina Shevchenko, amazing.
So here's what I'm going to say about this fight.
It would be like, for me, it would be like Holly Holm beating Ronda Rousey. You know, people didn't like Ronda Rousey, right?
Yes.
She was the best fighter she was the best female fighter in the world. Holly Holm ended up beating Ronda Rousey, took her to different heights, right? Imagine if Lauren Murphy beat Valentina Shevchenko. It's not going to come in head kick. Like, there's no fucking way. But if it were to happen, if Lauren Murphy were to beat Valentina Shevchenko, dude, MMA fans all over the world would fucking go insane. Like, it would be a literal war.
It'd be a meltdown.
It would be a severe meltdown, and I would be loving it.
So, yeah, here's what I have to say about this fight, which is not a whole lot, honestly, but I do think, well, this is a well-earned title shot for Lauren Murphy. I actually think Lauren has a better chance maybe than some of the other contenders have. I mean,
Jessica Ai, exactly.
Yeah, well, Jessica, of course. But no, I think Lauren puts up a better fight than, well, for sure, than a lot of people give her credit for. But that said, I think her best path to victory here is to make the fight kind of ugly in the ways that, let's say, Maya did, where, you know, try and grind her out a little bit. I mean, Lauren Murphy's fantastic at grinding, but get the fight to the ground, get on top of Valentina, similar like Jennifer Maya tried to. And I think she actually in theory should have better success, can have better success than Maya, because Murphy, pretty solid wrestler as well, Steve. Whereas, you know, Maya's got the jiu-jitsu and you know, Muay Thai. But yeah, just traditional, the bases here. I think Murphy has the capability to do that. Of course, easier said than done. And against Valentina, who is practically the perfect fighter. It's just you can't see it happening, right? Is it possible? Of course, anything's possible, but Valentina Shevchenko is literally better everywhere. We know that she can do absolutely everything, as seen. If you didn't know by the Jessica Andrade fight, you know now. So yeah, it seems like she likes to beat people where she is doubted, or at their best, a little bit John Jones-ish at this point in that regard, where he would do that thing.
She's definitely not doubted in this fight, or in her last 4 fights. There isn't any doubt.
Right. I mean, like where people will say the weakness is or whatever, she'll be like, "Oh, really? Here, I'll show you. It's not there." So that's what no weakness. Yeah.
At this point.
Right. So really, Lauren she shouldn't get crazy and go for the knockout, but that's about as good of a chance as you might have in theory. But of course, like I said, I think her best path to victory will be trying to make it ugly, but just to consistently keep that up for 5 rounds. And I mean, of course, if there's a finish opportunity in there, go for that all day. But that's just tricky. And I mean, the size of Lauren also makes it interesting because, again, former invicta bantamweight champ. And, you know, Valentina was at bantamweight as well. And if you remember in the Holly Holm fight, Steve, that Valentina had, you know, we saw her get taken down there in the first or second round of that fight. But I mean, that was the only time she had any trouble really in that fight. Great performance by her, of course. But yeah, just this is simple, Steve. Really, I'm talking way too much about it. I mean, Valentina's better everywhere. That's the point. She can do everything. I think she's gonna win by a submission in round 3. Because here's the thing that people have been saying. Here's a narrative that has been put out there. At least, I mean, I guess I've seen Lauren kind of say it and all that, but how she's never been finished. Well, now she's going to get finished because she said that. Valentina is going to make it her goal and her life mission to finish Lauren Murphy. So if it comes before the 3rd round, I won't be surprised. But I think Lauren will have some brief good moments where maybe she backs up Valentina against the cage. I don't know. Maybe she gets her down. But either way, it's not going to last. Valentina finds an armbar or something in the 3rd round. Remember the Pena fight? Think like that. It's going to be similar that way. So Valentina.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Lauren Murphy's just fucking tough. It's really hard to see Lauren Murphy get finished. Like you said, she's never been finished. So it's a tough thing to visualize. Again, with the visualization, it's really tough to see Lauren Murphy get finished. Valentina Shevchenko is on a whole nother level. Like you said, if she's aware that Lauren Murphy has never been finished, she's probably fucking thinking about that.
She is. If you saw, shout out to James Lynch. He spoke to Valentina, I think, last week, and they literally talked about this same thing.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so she's aware now.
Yeah.
That's trouble. That's trouble for Lauren Murphy. I don't think that she's going to get finished. I do think that Valentina is the better fighter, obviously. Up until Valentina gets beat, it's one of those things. Up until they get beat, it's really, you can't really pick against them. She's up there with the George St. Pierre's and Amanda Nunes and John Jones at this point. Up until they get beat, it's really difficult to pick against them. Valentina Shevchenko's up there. Lauren Murphy's a tough fucking woman. She's incredibly durable. She grinds. She hits hard. Hopefully she's able to take it to the ground. Hopefully she's able to stay on top of Valentina. But again, it's really hard to keep Valentina Shevchenko down once you get there. Once you, like, crazy as it sounds, get Valentina Shevchenko to the ground. Like, we hardly ever see that. But once she's actually on the ground, it's really hard to keep her down because she's so good. I don't think that Lauren Murphy wins this fight. I don't think that there's any possible way. Like, I just don't see it happening. I don't know.
So how do you think she'll get finished, though?
No. She's not getting finished.
Oh.
Shevchenko probably wins by decision. Probably loses 1 round.
Ooh, okay.
Lauren Murphy's really tough, man, and really good. I think this will, all the Barb stuff, all the shit with Eddie Alvarez and all that kind of crap. MMA fans latch on to things, latch on to stupidity, and they just keep on fucking hammering it in there. I think Lauren Murphy probably shows them she's a legit as fuck fighter.
Yep. I think that's fair. And I mean, I hope that's the case, just because she has been very disrespected for pretty much all of her career.
So much disrespect, man. So much disrespect for Lauren Murphy throughout her entire career. And all that stuff that happened in the Tough House was bad. It was a bad, very bad look.
Yeah, not too great. So, sticking with the champ, not surprised there as most are. And look at the crew start showing up here right towards the end.
You guys are late.
Citro Wing, hello, Drake and Steve. Just got the notification. Better late than never. I'll tell you that much. Ghost says, "What is up? I didn't know this would be right now." Yes, apologies, our good friends.
I know. We're gonna have to start DMing you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there he is, Steve.
Alvin!
Good evening, gentlemen. Have I missed the Twitter mailbag and Phantom Punch breakdown? Mailbag, yes, no mail today. Phantom Punch breakdown coming up right next. Yeah, we saved the Phantom Punch breakdown for last year again, so it came just in time, Alvin. Litchfield asks, "What's next? Nunes versus Chev 3?"
Well, I've been saying that for a very long time now.
Where's Stamina? Where's Stamina at?
I know. I know he doesn't want to hear it, my boy. I know you don't want to hear it, Stamina. But look, if Shevchenko ends up beating Lauren Murphy, there's nothing else. That's it, man. It's a wrap. What, Calderwood? Same thing. Same thing with that we saw against Calvillo. It's the same fight, man.
Well, she's got to get past Grasso first.
Exactly. And Grasso, she's a little bit different, I guess. I could see Grasso doing different shit on the feet against Shevchenko. I don't know. Yeah, Nunes Shevchenko 3. That's the fight that I've been calling for years now. I want it.
Yeah, the only thing for me kind of about that is you look at, Nunes' situation where she's actually, starting to get, some more challengers, at least a little bit. I mean, we have Aldana right there, depending on what happens next in timing of maybe the GDR fight, hopefully. Has the Pena fight to worry about in December. So we got to wait a little bit for these things to shake out. And then, of course, Misha, if she gets by Ketlin, and even if Ketlin beats Misha, maybe they'll try and throw her against the lad Chason winner. I mean, those are two fresh matchups too for Nunes. So things are actually livening up a little bit.
There's more for Amanda Nunes at this point. Of course, she has that other division as well. But
the what? Huh?
There's more for Amanda Nunes right now than there is for Shevchenko. Maybe we don't see Shevchenko and Nunes 3. Maybe Shevchenko goes on to fight fucking Rose Namajunas or Whaley. I don't know.
It would be really cool. This just came to mind. If you did Nunes versus Aldana, like let's say things work out to where she gets title shot and everything. Nunes Aldana on the card, and then Shevchenko versus Grasso on the same card. Yeah. How incredible that would be! And then you put Moreno against somebody.
Yeah,
dude, that'd be sick. And then let's say Nunes Shevchenko won there, then you do the fight.
Put him in the cage. Again,
right.
Face him off.
Yeah. I mean, a Grasso Shevchenko fight, I would really like to see that, actually. I think that has great potential to be very fun. But it's because we know how good a boxer Grasso is, Steve, and she hasn't been matched too much in the striking department. And when she's on, she is on. So Joseph asks, do you guys think Shevchenko is overlooking Murphy because of Nunes? Because that's the only fight to make for both of them? No, not at all. Not even a little bit. That's not Shevchenko.
That's not Shevchenko's style to overlook anybody at all. I mean, she knew that Jessica Ai wasn't her caliber of fighter, and she was not overlooking Jessica Ai. She was tunnel vision. It's complete tunnel vision for Shevchenko.
That's why she's as good as she is.
Exactly. She doesn't look past anybody at all.
Yeah, and same goes for Nunes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Litchfield says, can Valentina go down to 115? I mean, maybe. I wouldn't think too healthily. I mean, maybe. How tall is she right here? 5'5". I mean, she probably could. She'd have to drop clearly some muscle mass, but
she would have
I mean, she didn't cut anything at 135, so yeah, I guess she could in that theory.
She would have to lean. She would have to lean up.
Yes.
She couldn't be all, as bulky as she is right now.
Yeah, that is for sure.
At 125. Or at 115, I mean. Mm-hmm. She could not. But with that, her quickness would be fucking, she's already quick. Just imagine her at 115, how fast she would be. Yeah, without seriously. All that muscle mass.
Yep. And Litchfield says, imagine if Valentina goes to 135, beats Amanda, and then goes down to 115 and beat Namajunas / Whaley / Esparza and be a 3-division champ. Would be insane. But yeah, Cintro, as you mentioned, she's not interested in double champ kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, she is a champ's champ, man. She is all about racking up those defenses, cleaning out the division. I mean, you can pretty much bet that if the UFC offered her a double champ fight, she's not going to say no. She doesn't say no to anything, right? No, she'll fight whoever. That's what she's doing. That's literally what she's doing. But it's not something she's campaigning for. Obviously, she's not going out of her way, right? She's just knocking them down as they come. So
she will not say no, though.
Right. So yeah, if the UFC wants it, Litchfield, then Valentina will be down. That's for sure. So.
Yep.
All right. Alvin says, I thoroughly enjoyed a festive weekend of fights. I hope you gentlemen have too. Yes, it was very good, Alvin. Had plenty to say about all the action in the first 45 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
go back
and watch our breakdowns of the fights. Amazing fights. Great stuff happened this past weekend.
Joseph says, I told you guys last week that outside of Nunes, the only one that can test and beat Shevchenko is female Khabib.
She's got to be healthy.
Possible.
I mean, we can't really. Yes, I've been saying that for a very long time. I'm at the top of wanting to see Tatiana Suarez. I'm like #1 fan guy over here of Tatiana Suarez, but she's got to be healthy, man. She's got to be healthy. Like it's a long time. It's a long time from now. Still.
Yeah, and I still am under the belief that fighters with the styles of, let's say, Tyler Santos and Manon Fiorot, who are both fighting on this card, funny enough, I think both of them have potential to, give Valentina fits. Of course, I'm not saying they'll be the ones to dethrone her, but I think that, if they get as good as they possibly can be, those are some very interesting matchups, so we'll see. We will see in time, of course, but that is UFC 266, ladies and germs. Going to be a fun one. I'm ready for what is going to be a fucking pretty crazy week, actually. We got the Hall of Fame, Steve. There's so many things happening. Contender Series, the actual fights. I'm going to be very busy. Yeah, so we'll see how that
Too bad they don't do like Invicta again, the same
that was such a great week that one time they did that. That was super cool.
Yeah. But I don't see Invicta ever doing that again at this point.
We will see. Maybe one day. But I just noticed that it's at Steve K MA Bebe. Bebe. Boom.
Boom.
Oh, good shit. All right, you guys. To wrap it on up, we got everyone's favorite Phantom Punch Breakdown Ghost, Phantom the man himself, giving us yet another one. And the man, he is speaking my language here each and every week. Because this week, get ready. Where's Rain and Rue? See if they're mad about this one. I'm sure they won't be, because it is Eru Takabayashi week. Oh, I'm excited for this one. I love me some Takabayashi. One of my favorite prospects right now. Yes. Let's get into it. As I'm going to have to roll my seat over again because the red. But that's okay. Phantom Punch Breakdown, episode number 10, or breakdown number 10. There we are. Let's get into it. Eru Takabayashi, striking breakdown. Takabayashi builds a striking foundation by using throwaway jabs and constantly lengthening and shortening her stance. Takabayashi moves from a long stance, then retracts her lead leg to a shorter one before striking to draw out reactions. By retracting the lead foot from range, she can have opponents swinging punches or low kicks at nothing. This tactical tool allows her to move in on her opponents while they are out of position. This is from the last fight here. Deep Jewels 34, just a couple weeks ago. Brilliant performance from the 17-year-old. my goodness. Or she might be 18 now. Either way,
She's
very
so
young. Throwaway jab to draw out a reaction. Step feint into range to see reaction. Takabayashi shortens her stance to lengthen the distance. Non-committal jabs to the opponent hand while out of range helps to draw a reaction when feints are not drawing reactions. Lengthen the stance to close the distance. Chess match, folks. As Takabayashi shortens her stance, she sees that her opponent is square and heavy on the lead leg. Throwaway jab gets the opponent to slide towards Takabayashi's rear hand. All the weight is now distributed to her opponent's lead leg. This might seem meaningless, but setting a foundation through movement allows for a fighter to effectively and logically land strikes. In this sequence, she reads that her opponent is susceptible to low kicks due to the opponent's heavy lead leg. Takabayashi was able to land her outside low kick throughout this fight because of the foundation she built by stepping in and out of range and jabbing the hand. Establishes a rhythm by lengthening and shortening stance. Lengthened stance in the yellow there. Shortened stance, yellow again. Throwaway jab to keep opponents' attention upstairs. Also to measure distance in the red. She's too far away to punch, but is in the perfect distance to kick. I love Ghost getting fancy with those little jab hands. Little moons. Takabayashi punches the hand for two tactical ideas. One, feel where the weight is being distributed, in this case, the lead leg in purple. Two, set a pattern that can be broken later. Takabayashi shows the jab to the hand, which the opponent reaches for. This places all the weight on the lead leg. Nice. Takabayashi quickly retracts the jab to the hand to break her pattern to land her outside low kick. Unfortunately, this kick is not as powerful since her hips are not turning over, style bender term. She lands square after the outside low kick, which caused her to fall off balance and actively bring her lead arm up to block the jab. Landing square on an outside low kick puts Takabayashi in the line of fire of her opponent's right hand. She realizes that she was in a bad position and quickly gets out of range and bounces to regain her balance. Nice little light blue there. Let's get the slow-mo. Same concept, jab the hand to set a pattern and then break the pattern with a well-timed outside low kick. Takabayashi also adds more bricks to her foundation by kicking the arms and lengthening her stance towards her opponent's rear leg.
So lengthy.
Oh, yes. Opponent decides to long guard in anticipation to Takabayashi's jab to hand pattern. Takabayashi breaks the pattern by retracting her lead hand as she loads up her rear kick. Kicking the arm is an interesting tactic when an opponent is high guarding. This one looks particularly painful since her opponent's arm is being hyperextended. Good catch, Ghost. I did not notice that in the fight. High kick to the arm to force her opponent to the right, which allows Takabayashi to close the door with a lead hook.
Her opponent was just off, though, like her balance and stuff.
Yeah. Opponent's back is to the rope, so Takabayashi positions her rear foot in line with her opponent's right foot, effectively cutting the ring off. Position of lead leg leaves no space for the opponent to circle to the right.
Yeah, it's nice.
Takabayashi shortens her stance for mobility as soon as she sees her opponent moving to the left. Instead of following the opponent, she steps laterally with her rear foot in parallel of the ropes while tracking the opponent. Lengthen stance towards the opponent's rear leg to shorten the distance for future rear hand attacks. It's funny too because Inoue had the height on her here.
Yeah, for sure. Length and height.
Shortens her stance to hide future ideas of landing the right hand. There's that kick again. Didn't feel great. High kicks to the arms might not be a scoring weapon, but it does off-balance the opponent, which leads to new openings. Hey, if it hurts and does damage, Ghost, it's scoring, my man. Takabayashi uses her lead hand as a way to set up her inside low kick. Here it comes, everybody. The one and only technique that matters.
Boom.
Boop. Throwaway jab to see if opponent will reach for hand. Takabayashi sees the opponent reach and square her stance. Takabayashi sticks out the lead hand to draw out the hand fight from her opponent. Takabayashi breaks the pattern by going over the top of her opponent's lead hand. She also pendulum steps to close the distance for the inside low kick. You'll love to see it. Boom. Stays defensively responsible after landing inside low kick. How responsible. A little bink, as Robin Black would say. Landing in southpaw is a good option after the inside low kick because it allows Takabayashi to throw an intercepting knee if opponent comes in, or she could throw a body kick if they stay in the same position. Shortens the stance to regain balance since Takabayashi was off balance when she landed in southpaw. Some veteran stuff right here, man. Jabs the hand to set a pattern and also gauge distance.
Looks so good. That she looks like her stance is so nice.
Mm-hmm. Shortens the stance. She was uncomfortable with the distance she felt with the jab to the hand. That's spatial awareness.
Yeah.
Leaves out the lead hand to draw out another hand fight. The fight within the fight. Bink. Gotta do it every time. Another way to set up the inside low kick. Fire it off on the trailing leg while the opponent tries to circle. A good way to build off the inside low kick is the inside low kick to right hand. Dan Henderson style or the H-bomb. Gotta love that. Beautiful. Take note of Takabayashi's back foot. Look at the distance she covers to land the naked inside low kick. Landing in orthodox after an inside low kick is dangerous since Takabayashi is in boxing range. However, she manages the danger by sticking her lead hand out as a measuring tool for incoming attacks. So look at the effects he did on this one. Little pow.
Nice. Yeah, like the old Batman.
I know, the comics.
Boom, pow, punch.
Funny. The inside low kick brought her into boxing range to allow her to land the rear hand straight. That's incredible. Stepping his game up, this man.
Getting better and better each week.
Takabayashi swings her right leg towards the opponent's lead leg to allow her to slip under the opponent's rear cross by shifting her weight to her left leg. In and out. The inside low kick is almost always available in today's MMA since everyone is concerned about the low calf kick since lead legs are almost always pointed forward.
So damn quick with it.
Yeah. In theory, a good response to the inside low kick is to go for a takedown. However, Takabayashi takes preemptive measures to punish takedown attempts after she throws her inside low kick. As soon as Takabayashi lands an inside kick, she sets up frames to defend the takedown. Frame allows Takabayashi to separate her hips as opponent goes for a takedown.
Not happening.
Great stuff there. Opponent's posture is completely broken after the shot. Keep in mind the frame that Takabayashi maintains throughout this exchange.
Yep.
Beautiful knee lands because of hip separation and opponent's broken posture.
She set herself up for it.
None of the outside position. Note the outside position of her lead foot. Removes frame to load right hand, but maintains bicep control. The chin is up for Inoue. Good rotation to generate power to the rear hand. Pow! In reality, the best way to wrestle after your opponent throws an inside low kick is to draw out the inside low kick, then retracting your lead leg, then come through the opponent as they try to recover their stance. Eru Takabayashi is a developing striker with good feints and tactical ideas. Two things some fighters never develop even at the top levels. What would be the best way to build her up? A, we got some options, Steve. Fight frequently against low-quality opponents every 2 months. No, funny enough, we spoke about she's got that fight lined up last week. She got it lined up last week, coming up soon. Match her up with decent grapplers, but bad strikers. However, she cannot fight as frequently to prepare for the stylistic challenge, so she would have to fight every 6 months. C, after 10 fights, give her an opportunity to fight one of these prospects. Ooh, Sekizawa or Sori Oshima. My goodness.
Eventually going to have to get there.
Yeah, that is for sure, and I think she will definitely be there at some point. But, Steve, out of our options here, what is the best way to build up Takabayashi, you think?
I think it's option A. Get her in there as often as possible at this point. She's super young, right? 18, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super young at this point. Just get her in there, get some live action, see how she builds up. See how she gets better. She's going to get better and better. I don't think that she needs to be thrown in there against a super uber prospect like herself just yet. Eventually, we're going to get to those fights where they're going to have to fight each other. Just give her fights at this point. Just give her fights.
Yeah, I think that is probably the best one as well, since, just considering the age. And I mean, she's already, as you can see, very, as I said, after that last fight that we just looked at right there against Inoue, she is ahead of her years in the striking. And so, I mean, because of that, it makes me kind of lean a little bit towards B, but I think A is probably the right one still, Steve. But, he says match her up with decent grapplers, but bad strikers. I mean, just because of, we saw the Sakura fights that she had in RIZIN, which did not go her way. But, Sakura came in heavy, all that stuff, but she got submitted. So it's like, well, we know that she needs to get better there. And in a way, tested her there a little bit, and she fought smart, got out of those positions. Like, that was just a great performance, and one that you needed to see her adjust in those areas in that last fight, which was just highlighted once again. So maybe if you could, I'm going to cheat a little bit, Ghost, but maybe mix up a little bit of A and B. A little bit.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I do think that she probably needs to see a grappler again at some point soon, probably, just to see how she has improved, because she's young, so she's gonna get better and better in the gym every single day. She's gonna get better and better. She needs live action though. That's the main thing for her, because she's so young. You can throw her in there every few months and it would be totally fine.
Yep, for sure. And the thing about the C option here is, like, he says after 10 fights, and then we move on to the other very talented ladies. who all three of those would eat her alive in the grappling. Like that's just a guarantee.
Like, just too tough of fights right now.
Yeah, and I mean he says after the 10 fights though, which is like, where will those three be? Even at better. That time, yeah, even better. It's yeah, that's a little tricky, but either way, I am very, very excited for the future of Takabayashi. You guys know this, and you should be now too. Getting a little bit of a breakdown of her. That was awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Ghost. Very, very good. Let's take a gander at the comments now. Bum, bum, bum. Let me scroll back to where we started. Cincho says, oh, yeah. A little Kool-Aid man up in here. Alvin says, yes, thank you for these, Mr. Ghost Phantom. Centro, man, these always make me feel that I'm not watching fights correctly. Ghost says, this one was one of my favorite fighters to break down. So many great ideas from such a young fighter. I know. It is truly...
She's smart.
Amazing.
She's really intelligent.
Yes, and that performance really highlighted. If you guys have not seen that entire fight from Deep Jules 34, go watch it after this. It is on YouTube. The whole card. Watch the whole card. It was a great card. Yeah. Yes, excellent stuff. Cincho says, here it comes, the technique that shows up almost every week. You're goddamn right, talking about the inside low kick. And Cincho asks Ghost, why does he love the inside low kick so much? Ghost says, because inside low kicks force the opponent to react in a favorable way for the person throwing it. Check, back up, retract, lead leg. Each of those forces the opponent to be off balance or stationary, leading to more attacks. Obviously, there's more to it than that, but opportunities after inside low kicks are endless. Centro sees, he gets it now. Alvin says, I agree with Mr. King. I think A is a good option. Mr. King there. Ghost says, competition is the best way to improve. Yes, very true. Ghost says, in-way pulling guard was quite bizarre. I think she knew she didn't have anything on the feet. So she was just doing whatever she could there. Centro is throwing her with Sayori or Siaka. JK. Yeah, that's not. I mean, great. Hey, if you want to learn quick, there you go. Those two are ladies. Yeah, monsters. But.
Yeah, those two, and then the three that Ghost.
Yeah, even goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're all tough. They would all be tough fights for her at this point. We saw the clips of her, and Ghost did a great job breaking him down. Got to remember though, 18 years old.
18, yeah.
Super fucking young. And super new to the sport still. We like seeing prospects. We like watching the prospects. We like thinking, oh shit, what could be, how far can they go? But I think, putting her against tougher opponents right now ain't the shit.
There's no need to rush. Even though, yes, she's very good for her, like ahead of her time for her age.
Yeah,
still just two pro fights. Two pro fights.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Victoria Lee. Yeah.
Literally the same thing with Victoria Lee. Same exact thing with Victoria Lee.
Yeah. So she's showing great fight IQ and progress. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll have a different tune by the end of the year, man. She's got this next fight coming up already. See how that one turns out. Expect her to do well still, but see, she's staying active. So I mean, she's pretty much already doing A.
She's doing it. She's definitely taking fights, and she's young, so she's hungry. There's that definite fucking hunger and availability.
Absolutely. Ghost chiming in saying, and she gave up her back in one of her earlier fights, so lots of improving needed.
Yeah. Can't throw her in against fighters who have fought, a dozen times already.
Yeah, and I mean the two of the champs that Centro points out there, Sayori and Seika.
That's far off. We're far off. He said just kidding, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So good stuff, Ghost. Takabayashi, one of my favorites, as I mentioned. Good stuff there, as always. Looking forward to that. But here we are, you guys. We've reached the climax, the end of the show. We'll try to get back to Mondays, right at the 2-hour mark, just about. Don't forget, follow us, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, for whatever reason, at @DrakeRiggs_, at SteveK_MMA, baby. At the Scrap News. Got plenty of new content coming out for you guys, other shows and hosts coming to the channel. As you can tell, a lot going on. Good time for the scrap and MMA content, all that good stuff. Lots of fun fights and fighters in the world. So, with that in mind, Steve, got any goods? Got any goods for us? Any Nick Diaz preview articles coming out?
I think I'm gonna try to write one. I mean, I'm not doing anything with my life right now. I've I've been out of it the past couple of weeks, and I need to do something with myself. So I'm gonna really try to put out a Nick Diaz article.
All right, you guys heard it here, and still holding out on the MMA inks, yeah?
Yeah, dude, I can't interview them right now. I can't interview fighters. Like
I thought you had some in the chamber. Like, are they done?
Yeah, they're done. I've literally had to tell fighters, sorry, I'm pretty fucked right now. Can't really do an interview at this point.
It happens, man. It happens. So, as you guys probably know, I will be back on the ground this week for UFC 266 in Vegas, leaving on Tuesday. Get there just in time for the Contender Series. Then the day after is Media Day. Day after that is the press conference and Hall of Fame on Thursday. It's going to be crazy. Weigh-ins, all that stuff, all that coverage. Great coverage for you will be on SCMP. Go check it out. Follow along. And just, what was it, today or this morning? I think it was today. My interview with Ritu Fogit is out now. That is on SCMP. You can go check it out. Ritu, it's very fun to talk to. Of course, the Indian Tigress moving on to the semifinals. She says she expects, wrestling. She expects the semifinals to take place next month. So maybe we'll get some news soon about who should be fighting and who everyone else will be fighting in the tournament. So that will be good. That is out. Go check it out. And then I got my conversation with Martin Hamlet, the finalist in the light heavyweight tournament of the PFL. I know you guys really care about the PFL, but Martin's a great dude. It was very fun talking to him. Cool guy, very chill. Check that out. Dropping it tomorrow. My MMA news. The Norwegian Viking, I think is the nickname he's using. He's going to take on Antonio Carlos Jr., so the former UFC middleweight. Should be a pretty good fight. Looking forward to that in October. $1 million on the line. And then, let's see, I got an interview lined up with a champion. So I will let you guys make your guesses of who I'll be speaking with tomorrow. But it should be a fun one. I've never spoken to her before. She got one hell of a highlight reel recently. I kind of spoiled it, didn't I? If you can really think, that makes it a lot easier. But yes, we'll be talking to her. And then another one of the Grand Prix fighters this week as well. Got plenty of things lined up. So going to be way too busy. So that's what I got going on. You guys know where to find it all. Steve, let's get out of here, man. I'm curious, is the Sunday Night Football game over?
Ravens won.
What? They came back?
By one.
Oh my God.
No, crazy, right?
Wow.
Kansas City's not that good.
I mean, their D's letting them down. Good thing I didn't start them on fantasy.
Yeah, no, they're getting lit up, dude. 30, I think it was 38-37 or something like that. Or 35 or 34 or some shit like that. And won by 1 point, I think.
That's crazy. They always play good games, though, Ravens and Chiefs. Either way, okay. People don't want to hear us talk about football. Let's send it on home, buddy.
No, we can go on. We can go on forever with that. Yeah. So, thank you to everybody who shows up. I know it's been the days have been fucked and all that. We're gonna try again. We're gonna try for Mondays. We're gonna try to get it back to our normal Monday time and date. Things have been happening, but thank you to everybody who showed up today on, I know it was crazy notice. I know you guys said we didn't know. Apologize. You know, I'll do my best to reach out next time if that is to happen. But thank you to everybody who did show up. Chuck came in at the beginning. Alex was here. Joseph, Scott Litchold, Stamina, Synchro Wing, Ghost Phantom, Alvin, I think that's it.
You get Mr. Lee?
Oh, Mr. Lee was here as well, yeah. And to whoever doesn't show up in the daily or our weekly shows, we love you just as much as everybody else. We just don't know who you are. So stay safe and stay healthy. Enjoy the fights this weekend, y'all.
Peace.